Chapter 19. We are almost done with the book, and you are going to miss hearing my voice. I'll tell you that. You're going to miss hearing. Okay, so Chapter 19. If you have not listened to or read the prior chapters, go find them on my website at Caro. See how my name is spelled? C-A-R-O, Carolyn Evans. CaroEvansDreammaker.com. Okay? You don't want to jump in right now. It's really interesting, but you really want to build up right along with the rest of us. Okay, so Chapter 19, Stone of Communication, the most important stone God lays on my path. Laughing together and spending time alone is hard for a married couple to do when life keeps throwing curveballs. The stones of faith, love, compassion, wisdom, honesty, praise, friendship, loyalty, respect, fun, and every other stone that is laid from birth to death cannot keep a relationship from failing if the stone of communication is not laid every day. Every day, people, it is very important for you and your spouse or you and your mate to communicate. I can list several relationships in a person's lives. I can list several relationships in people's lives, and in each of them, communication is key. The stone of communication will generate the other stones. Employees and employers need to communicate in order to build respect, trust, loyalty, and a successful company. Politicians and taxpayers need to communicate so that politicians know what their constituents want and will not tolerate in order to build respect and build a great community. Pastors and parishioners need to communicate not only the Word of God, but honestly communicate needs and expectations to each other. Parents and children need to communicate to build love, respect, faith, fun, determination, and a strong relationship. Even an owner and their pet need to communicate to build a loving, loyal relationship. So, of course, a man and a woman need to communicate to create a lifelong, lasting relationship and step cautiously on all the stones God lays on their yellow brick road journey to their happily ever after. Kendall and I knew that life had been stressful since 2007, but we had to work, raise Kenda, and keep living. In 1997, we committed to better, worse, sickness, and health. But my goodness, we didn't expect it over and over again. When you pile the death of his sister, my car accident, my breast cancer, the death of his father, the loss of our dog of 10 years, Kenda's seizure disorder, deploying to Iraq and Afghanistan every other year as a civilian contractor in a war zone, and everyday life as a husband, father, son, or wife, mother, daughter, friend, and functioning members of society, you will get stress. Kendall knew when life was stressful on me because I would cry more easily and tell him when I needed extra rest. But I didn't tell him when I was overwhelmed or worried about something because I felt he had the weight of our family's needs on his shoulders already. I just kept busy, tried to keep everyone from my clients to my employers to my family to Kendall and Kenda happy. I know now that I should not have kept the stress to myself. He would have helped me through it all. Kendall rarely cried. I know most men just stand strong and hold in their sorrow most of the time. When his family members passed away and when I was injured were the times that I knew Kendall cried or got teary-eyed. But if there were other times, he did it in private. I learned early that crying was a physical release for me. Pent-up sorrow, sadness, stress, tension, and even anger could be alleviated and released through prayer with tears. A purging of your mind, body, and soul. But even I could only release so much through crying. The rest is done with your mate, through talking, bearing your soul, through communication and lovemaking. Kendall and I talked about bills, budgets, work, school, neighborhood, meals, everything surrounding Kenda and family. We did not sit and talk about our needs regularly to know if we were missing something that the other could provide. I am sure we both thought if the other needed anything, it would be asked for like everything else. Unfortunately, we were wrong. After the accident and the breast cancer surgery, I did my typical bounce back into my busy life. I saw a counselor twice, didn't go back. Did I deal with my fear of driving down Florida Avenue? Yes and no. I got back behind the wheel, even though I wanted to hire a chauffeur for life. I had to take Kenda to school, shop, and work. Is that dealing with fear? No. But I had to deal with all of the issues that arose from the accident, like learning to walk again, and the ache that the damaged pelvic bones will give me for life, which helped me overcome the fear in time. I forgot fear and focused on survival. Was I honest with anyone about how frightened I was every time Kenda had a seizure? Did anyone know how I would pray over and over silently, please God, let Kenda be okay. Please God, let Kenda be okay. Each time a seizure overtook my little girl's body? Even though I did tell everyone to say your prayers, thank God and believe it will be done, was I a hypocrite? Was I disappointing God because I didn't say it once and believe? No, no, no. Because God knows my heart and knows that I am human and fear is natural. God knows how to bring peace. And as the weeks passed, I learned about seizures and I saw that Kenda came out of them each time. Then I began to breathe again. Did I mourn the loss of my breasts after the mastectomy? No, I was glad they were gone. Breastfeeding, age, and gravity had long severed my emotional attachment to my perfect breasts from my 20s. And yes, they were perfect. At the time, I was not afraid of the cancer returning because of the confidence in my medical providers. But deep down, I knew I didn't deal with my fear of cancer either. I did not deal with the fact that the scars made my breasts look deformed. I didn't deal with my fear of dying and leaving my husband and daughter to live life without me. I wanted to be alive, to help raise Kenda, to see her graduate, play sports, model, teach, and just enjoy life. Yet I told no one I was petrified, and I do mean petrified. Because Kendall and I weren't dealing with our stress, worries, and fears completely with each other, we began to keep the stress, worries, and fears to ourselves. That is a marriage no-no. On a couple of occasions, I snapped at Kendall and got upset over something small, which caught him off guard and made him mad enough to stop talking for a couple of days. On one occasion, Kendall was so angry about me not communicating to him something that I thought was a small task that he yelled at me, which is not his style at all. We knew we needed to sit down and talk because each of us was behaving out of character. A key: acknowledge there is a problem and fix it. I think we both have a lot going on with work and juggling life in general, so I will apologize now if I have been ignoring you and not being there for you, I said to Kendall as we sat on our bed one Saturday morning. I know we don't go places alone very much since we had Kenda, but I enjoy the time we spend together as a family. We can make time to be there for each other, and Kenda can stay with the and stay as a family, I suggested to Kendall. It is not just our time together, Carol. We need to communicate more. We need to talk about the time. We need to talk all the time. If we need to do something around the house or with the cars, we should talk to each other so we are both on the same page. If we're going to make plans, let's make sure each of us knows about the plans and there are not any conflicts in our schedules. We used to do it all the time, but as we get busier, we are talking less. We should be talking more. You are good at just getting it done, whatever it is, but sometimes you can slow down and let me help or do the job later. I just think we should talk more, Kendall said, looking at me. I smiled and said, "It is so simple and easy when you say it, and I know it can be simple and easy if we do it together." I reached across the bed and gave him a kiss and a hug. We have been great together for 15 years. We will be awesome together from here on out. I knew that our long-hour chat would strengthen us for years to come, and it did. We began to communicate the details, and we made time for just us, going to comedy clubs, trips to Las Vegas, or relaxing with a movie. We managed to get through the whole year of 2011 without any deaths, major injuries, or sicknesses. Thank God. We were moving well through 2012 until the morning of Saturday, July 29th, when I received a call from Kendall's friend Maurice. "Hey Carol, Kenny fell down and he can't get up. He said," Maurice said to me. "Quit it, Maurice," I said, thinking that he was joking about Kendall playing basketball into his 40s. He said, "No, seriously. Kenny took a charge from this big guy, then fell to the ground, and his kneecap is messed up on one leg, and he said the other one hurts too." "Did you guys call an ambulance?" I asked. "No, he said to call you," Maurice replied. "Hang up and call an ambulance. I'm on my way," I said frantically as I hung up on him. "Kendall, baby, let's go. Daddy got hurt at the basketball court, so we need to go check on him," I said as Kendall and I ran to the car and rushed to the Canyon Lake community where Kendall and his friends play basketball every weekend. "Oh no," Kendall said with a worried look on her face. Oh no was right. I prayed silently as I drove quickly to the basketball court. "Please, God, let him be okay." Maurice called me back to say that the ambulance had arrived and was taking Kendall to the new Loma Linda Hospital in Murrieta. I told him thanks and I would head that way. I quickly changed direction and sped off towards the freeway. When I passed the Newport Road overpass and approached the on-ramp, I slowed my speed down so an ambulance could merge onto the freeway. Through the back window, I could see Kendall waving at me. My goodness, he had a slight smile on his face as he shook his head. I blew him a kiss and waved back. "Do you see Daddy in the back of the ambulance?" I asked Kendall. "Wow, Mommy, that is Daddy," she said, surprised. But I wasn't. God let me see him as soon as possible to relieve some of the worry. I relaxed, thanked the Lord, and slowly followed the ambulance. We parked and rushed into the emergency room. "Hello, my husband Kendall Evans just came in by ambulance," I said to the triage nurse. "Okay, let us get him situated, and after I get your insurance information, you can go back and see him." She got up and went into the back. Kendall and I sat down to wait. After 20 minutes of effectively communicating with the intake nurse, copying insurance cards and signing waivers, Kendall and I went back to see Kendall. "Hi, baby," I said with a kiss to his lips. "What in the world happened?" "Hey, little mama," Kendall said to Kendall as she hugged his arm. "I was going up to the basket, and this guy that is bigger than me pushed me, so I landed wrong on my right knee, which I think made it buckle. Then I tried to shift to my left side, and it gave out. I fell to the ground. I looked down at my right knee, and the kneecap was down here," he said as he pointed to a spot 3 inches below where his kneecap should be. "Oh my God," I said. "Yeah, Robin said it was best to move it back up immediately, so he slid the kneecap back up. It hurt, but not as bad as you would think. I hope I don't have to have surgery on both legs. Both legs hurt now," he said with a look of concern. After a few hours of waiting, x-rays, and finally being medicated, Kendall was sent home with some crutches. We had to call an orthopedic surgeon on Monday to get Kendall seen and diagnosed. Robin had sent Kendall a text to see how he was, and he recommended one of the best orthopedic surgeons for athletes. First thing Monday morning, Kendall called Dr. Ryman and got an urgent appointment for an MRI. After the MRI was done, he saw Dr. Ryman, who explained that he had suffered the following: left knee ruptured quadriceps tendon and right knee ruptured infrapatellar tendon. Wow. Yeah, wow on what happened and wow on trying to pronounce that. OMG. Treatment was going to be surgery on both legs. Wow. Kendall was going to be out of work for 3 to 4 months. Wow. We had dealt with it years of my medical conditions, accident-related injuries, and even little Kenda had suffered for a while, and Kendall had supported us through it all. Now the rock of the family would need to lean on us for his daily needs, his comfort, and emotional support. It was very frustrating for Kendall to be hospitalized, but I told him God works with us through all of our trials and tribulations. Each trial is an opportunity to trust in God, have faith in the Lord, and be obedient to the Holy Spirit. It was God's way of slowing Kendall down and allowing him to rely on us. On the day after the surgery, I went to see Kendall after I dropped Kenda at school. I asked how he was doing. Horrible. The pain was bad until this morning, he said. He looked tired with bags under his eyes from lack of sleep. What happened, babe? They should have been giving you pain meds regularly, I said from experience. The nurse last night said the doctor told her I couldn't have any medicine until the anesthesia wore off, then in 4 hours. The nurse this morning just gave me some so I can feel it working. It's making me sleepy too, he said with his eyes closed. Honey, the nurse probably read the notes wrong because you had pain meds with anesthesia. So as soon as the pain meds wore off, she could have given you some more. Not let it wear off, then wait 4 hours. Oh my goodness, I could strangle her. Keep this in mind for the future. If you were in a hospital and you were in pain, and a nurse says, your doctor says, then you say, okay. When she leaves the room, you immediately call your doctor's office for an emergency callback. Your doctor doesn't want you in pain. I will let you sleep. We kissed. He said in a groggy voice, okay, love you. He was asleep before I left the room. I was so mad I started to go have a chat with the nurse, but I left it alone. I explained to him how to communicate his needs in the future, and that was enough. Let me stop a sec, because there will be occasions when you want to get crazy and go off the chain. Take a deep breath, pull from your inner core, ask God to give you peace, deal with it respectfully and calmly. Sometimes it's just a matter of educating your friends or family so they know how to handle it in the future. But sometimes you do need to go speak to somebody. As you've noticed in here, there haven't been a few times that I've had to speak to someone, correct someone, even a professional who's doing their job, and they may be oblivious to their customer service or to the way that they're speaking or communicating or lack of communication. So it helps. They take it as a learning event and you feel good about speaking up. Long as you do it respectfully. You can do it with an attitude face though. This is my attitude face. So if I was going to speak to that nurse, I would have said, excuse me, you are aware that he didn't have medication all night? That was not what the doctor intended. So that's how I would have handled it. I kept talking to her with my face like, it works, people, it works. Get your attitude face. But don't use it all the time. This is usually my face, my happy face. So keep your happy face 99% of the time. Use your attitude face 1%. 1%. So it took a few weeks of rest and Kendall's attempts to do more than he should before he realized that he was unable to walk and move as he used to. He began to accept his limited mobility and allowed his body to sleep when needed and relax so his body could heal. Kendall would come in after school and sit on the bed to show him what she did in school and watch television with her dad. Kendall began to look forward to his time with little mama. When the doctor authorized physical therapy, Kendall's spirits perked up so much. Kendall had to wear a leg brace on each leg. Yes, I have pictures of that in here. 6'5" in leg braces. He went to the same Rancho Physical Therapy office in Paris that I went to for my pelvic fracture. He could feel his mobility and independence coming back. After each therapy session, I could see his happiness and confidence in his ability returning. While Kendall was focusing on recovery and dealing with his disability, emotionally and physically, his HR department had been attempting to deny his disability benefits through his employer. They actually tried to tell him that their metrics for recovery on his specific injury showed 60 days to recover and return to work. We tried to explain to them that it was not one injury, but that Kendall had surgery on both legs and was in leg braces. It was like talking to a man with cement in his ears. I told Kendall, don't be frustrated or let him make you mad, babe. We just need to get a letter from Dr. Ryman that effectively communicates your current condition and how long before you are released back to work. If they force you back to work before you are medically ready, you can sue them. Dr. Ryman was awesome. His letter explained that as Kendall's physician, he was not releasing him back to work yet and that his medical treatment should not be in question. It worked. The HR manager and the medical benefit payer stopped denying his claims and harassing Kendall to return to work, then began paying the benefits again. Stones of communication, trust, faith, and obedience build belief as God blesses us everyday situations. Kendall's legs healed and he returned to work before Christmas of 2012. Let me give you a couple of hints. Remember, I paid medical insurance claims for over 20 years. And unfortunately, some insurance companies do think deny first. And a lot of people will just say, oh, they denied it and move on. You don't do that, people. You have benefits. Just like, remember when I was getting the breast cancer surgery removal and they said that they denied my claim to have the mastectomy? I'm like, what? That's coverable. Well, it was because the way it was submitted said that I was keeping the nipples, right? Well, the insurance company's nurse protocol or doctor protocol, medical protocol says all tissue needs to be removed because it's cancerous. They don't want to pay for a mastectomy, me get the cancerous nipples back, and then I get breast cancer again because of my skin, because of the nipples. So by effectively communicating and calling and asking them, why are you denying it? And them saying, because you're keeping the nipples, and me saying, well, hell, get rid of the nipples. That kept the ball moving. I got the approval, got the surgery. Same with Kendall. The people on the other end at the benefits office are denying it because they think it's one surgery at the same time. Yes, it was one surgery setting, 2 different legs. He can't walk, okay? You need to communicate to people. So when an insurance company denies you a claim for you, yourself, your spouse, do not just immediately say, oh, it's denied. You call and say, why is it denied? And isn't it covered? What's not covered about it? Ask questions, people, because you'll soon find out, oh, there was a misunderstanding, or oh, the doctor's office didn't submit everything right, or oh, the code they used is not correct. You can get it done. You can get it done. If not, email me, okay, at my website. It's also on my website. It's CEDREAMMAKER.com. It's also in the book. There's a lot of things in the book, references, links, and stuff. So email me at CEDreammaker at CarolEvansDreammaker.com. Yes, it's long, but if you really want to reach out to me, type it. Okay, so that was the end of chapter 19. And in chapter 19, you'll see, that was when I was a real estate broker. Well, still am. Just I'm in Texas and not Cali. And then myself and Kendall on the way out to one of our comedy events, just us time. And then Kendall, him and his friends that play basketball, and every weekend for 10 years almost. And then out of the blue, look at that, 6'5", double knee braces. Crazy. That was frustrating for him, but he got through it. Made him stronger. Made us all stronger. And us in the Bahamas, spending time. That was with family too. Kenda and Chanel went that time. But yes, you have to document with pictures, because he'll look back on these and remember, oh wow, yeah, that was crazy. But you got through it, babe. With God's help, you got through it. This is a family reunion. That's my big old supportive family. And that's not even everybody. I have a huge family, guys. So yeah, you need to go on my website, look at the album pages in color so you can see them, check them out. And then we're on to the next chapter. Bye.